Yep, I got some. Oh, right. Just gone through the payouts actually. Oh, that is. Well, I guess they were only green then, weren't they? Still seems a bit low.
Did you get notes about payouts? And
yeah, it's interesting to see with the payouts and that.
I can imagine like 2 women in 2014. like
Even for Stipe and Jedjerc.
Really?
Mm. Yeah. But this has always been the problem. I guess we should be recording this part. Is that the UFC has always been very hush hush about what they're paying backstage.
Yeah.
So these people might.
That being said, I don't think 2 people on the top of a prelim on.
No.
Like, yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome to Armchair Judges, the podcast where we review controversial boxing and MMA fights. Well, I'm your host, Ben, joined by Trevor.
Bonjour.
Aiden.
Hello.
How are we?
All right.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
All right, today we are doing Claudia Gadelha and Joe. I'm just going to call her Joanna because those letters do not make the sounds.
Her name is Joanna Jones versus Claudia. Yeah.
This always reminds me of that. My favourite Tommy Toehold episode ever, the Goldie one after he left the UFC. Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't.
It's just like a reel of all these bungles. It's so fucking good, man.
He had some great pronunciations.
Abu Dhabi.
As we'll get to tonight, he has a great line in this fight.
My favourite one though was Oi Nelson.
Oi Nelson. Oh fuck.
You know it's tough when you get fired from the UFC, go to Bellator
and get fired. So this is December 13, 2014, US Airways Center, Phoenix, Arizona, UFC on Fox. So this is not a pay-per-view, but this is a good card when you like look at who's on it.
It's kind of like modern UFC where it's like you look at a pay-per-view and you're like, they want $60 Australian for that.
I don't know.
And then you look at the Fox or the ESPN Now cards, you're like, yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah. There was a period around this time where there was like really, really good, pretty much pay-per-view quality cards on their Fox shows. You remember the one that had main event was Cerrone and Dos Anjos. So also had like Nate Diaz and
yeah. I mean, they opened the whole thing up with Kane, Dos Santos won.
Yeah,
that was the first main event on the Fox card.
Heavyweight title fight.
Heavyweight title fight.
So this card had the main event was Dos Anjos and Stipe. Oh, Dos Santos. And then Nate Diaz fought Dos Anjos. Alistair Overeem fought Stefan Struve and Matt Mitrione fought Gabriel Gonzaga. And wee little Henry Cejudo is all the way down on the Fight Pass prelims.
So it was actually a pretty important fight though, because it was to determine who was going to be the contender for Carla Esparza, who'd just beaten Thug Rose for the first UFC strawweight title.
Yeah, and that was like a horrific beatdown when they done the winner of this fight versus her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, both beaten Carla Esparza.
Yeah.
I think it was the U-Day for Gadelha. Maybe a split decision.
Yeah, she didn't knock many people out.
No. I
don't really have any biases in this. I guess as time went on, I got a little bit sick of Joanna and I thought she was kind of cringe, really. But,
yeah, I've never respect her as an athlete, but I've never really cared for her as a fighter.
Yeah.
I started to like her more once she'd become champion. Before this fight, I don't think I'd seen her, and I started to not like her during this fight.
Is that because she called herself Joanna champion and no one had to pronounce... Hang on, let me check my notes. Jones?
Yeah, partly because of that.
Check.
I think mostly just because we'd seen her fighting Valerie Letourneau and that card where we also saw Ronda Rousey get knocked out.
Get knocked the fuck out.
There's another relic on this, like good quality UFC cards. The other relic is Rogan commentating on a non-pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see. Did you find out anything about judges? About purses and odds or anything?
Yeah, so I got purses. I didn't get odds, sorry. I got purses.
It'd be hard to find odds.
Going back to this one for odds was difficult.
So Joanna got paid 20 grand, including a 10 grand win bonus.
Holy shit.
Including that. Claudia got 10 grand flat. But even when you look into the other fights, so it was Stipe versus Jedjerc as the headliner. Stipe got 30 grand. Jedjerc got 130 plus 130 win bonus.
Jeez, that is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
If you're getting 10
how about
grand.
this one for rough? Dos Anjos got 86,000, including a 41,000 win bonus. Nate Diaz got 16 grand.
The things that Dos Anjos has done for the UFC.
Oh, and Diaz was fined because he didn't make weight.
Yeah.
So he made nothing and then got fined anyway.
Yeah.
If you
took
get that-
pennies off him.
If you get that 10 grand, you pay your corner, you pay tax. Like, there's not going to be much left.
Plus, I'm pretty sure they're paying, like, I've heard someone saying that UFC fighters get travel allowance.
You'd fucking
I haven't been able to find anything about that, so I'm pretty sure,
Surely-
except for this one dude saying it, so I'm pretty sure they don't.
And
Yeah.
surely, even if they did, that might cover them and their head coach. It's certainly not covering a team.
Yeah, so when all these people crap on about the UFC actually does pay well, that local fighters in boxing aren't getting paid that. Local fighters in boxing don't have to travel to fucking America from Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah, that is wild.
And they both actually had good records at this point, like not records that give you 10 grand for a fight. Like Cadella came in at 12-0, 6 subs and 2 TKOs. Joanna was 7-0, 2 KOs and 1 submission. They were pretty high quality for what they had in the UFC.
Yeah, especially at this time.
Especially in the infancy of the women's non-Ronda Rousey around built division.
Was she around here? 2014? Yeah, she would have been around.
She would have been.
Yeah, she was the...
But it was very much in that stage when the bantamweight division very, very clearly outgrew Ronda Rousey. Like, it was initially built around her.
Yeah, she was kind of... I don't want to say, like, exposed, because, like, you know, she was pioneer or whatever, but, like, geez, like, after she lost that first fight, like, I don't think she could beat, like, anyone in the top 5 or 10 now, even if she was, like, at her peak.
The sad thing is, like, if we'd seen Ronda Rousey, but she chose American Top Team or something, or AKA, instead of some
Tibetan
Armenian fucking boxing coach.
Some of those, like, do you remember there's really awkward YouTube clips of her, like, shadow boxing?
Yeah, and she's, like, looking off into the distance.
like-
And her ass moves in, like, the wrong direction. Like, you meant to turn your hips and with a punch. Like, her left hip had moved forward as her right hand's moved forward. What's she doing? And, yeah, that's 4 years of pro coaching.
Yeah.
And she's done some exercise, all right?
All right. So, you didn't have any biases?
Well, like I said, I was never really a Joanna fan.
Oh, that's right.
And just, it's not a bias, but just because it's probably going to piss a few people off, I'm going to call her Joanna and Joanna, and I'm going to interchange the two freely. It's just a thing I do.
I noticed that, like, even early, Rogan is, like, smart enough to avoid trying to pronounce that last name for a while.
Hang on, I have to take an intermission to let a kitty cat out of the room.
Okay.
We can take this opportunity, I reckon. Talk about Joanna's kickboxing record as well. So she had an amateur Muay Thai record of 37-3, and then a pro kickboxing record of 27-3.
Nice.
Only 4 KOs in there, but she'd won 5 Muay Thai gold medals from 2004 to 2013, and got a silver medal in 2009 to 2013. She pretty much just won every year.
Now, imagine Claudia would have had, like, some kind of similar thing with BJJ.
Couldn't find as much about her, but they, on Wikipedia it was saying about when she started in training for MMA, there was some sort of, like, big sort of bit of hype about her jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. Okay, should we get into the fight proper?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Time for the meat and potatoes.
All right. I thought early that Claudia was holding her own in the striking, early on at least.
I found that as well. Like, it was sort of going off what I remembered from the first time I watched the fight. I was expecting to see Claudia dominating the grappling, Joanna dominating the striking, but
Wasn't
pretty close. And even at the start of the first round, I think Claudia was landing the better strikes.
Yeah.
Like, Joanna didn't get her timing as quick as Claudia got Joanna's.
Did you watch that? Did you watch the same video as me, like that grainy ass YouTube video?
Yeah, it's got a few bits where it sort of pauses and
I don't know if you can even get this on Fight Pass because I couldn't get the prelims for the card.
I watched this fight on Fight Pass.
Did you?
I did.
This I could
In
not
all
find.
its Fight Passy glory. No pausing, no copyright issues there.
Yeah. There's a nice takedown for Claudia, or Claudia, as Mike Goldberg said. He says Claudia, like cloud. Yeah. She doesn't do much with the takedown, though, and Joanna gets back up.
She does at one point, I think it might be a bit later in her, she does go in for a nice arm triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sort of steps over a bit too soon and accidentally lets it go. But before then, she got in like just a little bit of ground pound, get some dominant positions. She sort of starts like throughout the whole fight. Every time she takes her down, it's a pretty big takedown.
Yeah.
It's not like some half-assed sort of thing. Yeah, it counts for more, in my opinion, than the whole. Someone took someone down and just sat there and didn't achieve much with it. Like, it's a big takedown.
Claudia's takedowns looking like, I forgot just how impressive they were.
Yeah, she almost looks more like a wrestler in this fight than a jiu-jitsu fighter.
And late in the round, Claudia goes down. It looked like a decent shot on the replay.
It was.
Can I talk about something else before we get to that?
Yeah.
It's a little bit earlier than the knockdown. Joanna gets the stand-up, reverses the clinch around, and for the first time in the fight, but she does it in every round, she, holds her fingers on Claudia's face, right near her eyes for a long time, and is never fucking called on it.
Really?
There was a lot of moments in this fight, throughout the fight, where she damn near poked her in the eye.
Yeah. Well, she did poke her in the eye
She did poke her in the stand-up. But, that way she was, pushing her face back, but those fingers were...
Yeah, and you might say, the fingers aren't directly in the eye, but if you've got them, still on the, on basically the eye socket, it's still going to be bothering someone.
Yeah.
Especially when they're fucking getting hit at the same time.
I think the best answer for eye pokes is the old school pride gloves that used to come further down the finger.
100%. They should have had that in the UFC.
They should have had that in the UFC for years.
Yeah, so sorry to cut in there. The knockdown.
Yeah, she goes down and it looked heavy kind of on the replay, but she survives, and I don't think she was too rattled.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that it happens at the end of the round. If it happened halfway through the round, she's got 2.5 minutes to work and finish the fight. Is a different story to knock down on the bell.
Yeah.
Can't work it.
10 seconds to go. So that's where MMA judging is really a bit of a factor, because it's not like
you don't have to do the 10-8 straight away.
No, yeah.
But
I like that though.
Yeah. And also that shot's the uppercut, which throughout the fight proves to be Joanna's most reliable shot.
Yeah. Don't know if anything of note was said in the corners, because the video I watched had no between round stuff.
I'll be honest, it turns out my Polish and or Portuguese is not that great.
Joe Rogan does say that Claudia looks tired and her corner tells her that she's tired or something.
I did have a bit of translation.
Can he speak Portuguese?
And at the end of that first round, her coach says, through the translator, translated audio, how do you feel? And she goes, tired. Which, after you've spent a round sort of grappling someone with ease.
Yeah, almost. Grappling is exhausting, man.
Yeah, she kind of earned the right to be exhausted.
Yeah. I sort of wonder about that. We always say about people getting takedowns and not doing anything with it, so it shouldn't count. It is fucking exhausting being not the one in control in grappling, whether you're on the ground or standing up.
Yeah, and I think the real difference, if you're not doing anything or if the other person is just really good at defensive grappling.
Yeah.
If you're constantly trying to move, but then you get those fighters, we'll take you down and just hug, lay on top, ride out the clock.
But there's still a point where it's still it's not strikes, but it's sort of damaging to the opponent in the sense of how much it takes out of them just trying to defend against that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's not as simple as just going, there was a takedown, they did nothing, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, you're carrying around your opponent's weight on top of yours, so.
Yeah.
I thought that round was probably the toughest to score of the three because of the knockdown. But
it was reasonably easy up until that point.
Yeah. The knockdown, you do have to factor it in there.
I think too, when we're getting to the end of our judging, I think we can go into that further. But
yeah,
I think this is one where we're really going to have to talk about how we scored each round. And why.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Round 2, there's another big takedown early for Claudia.
For Cloudy Gal.
And again, there's not a great deal done with it. She kind of gets up along the fence and then she gets back up.
There's some back and forth kneeing.
Yeah. I still thought even the striking is relatively even. Slight edge to Joanna, but Claudia's not getting lit up on the feet.
She's not getting lit up on the feet, and it seems that takedown's there at will.
Yeah.
The difference in striking to me seemed sort of like Joanna will land one or two that are pretty hard. Claudia will strike back with some that are not quite as effective, but they're still landing. Like if it was someone who was a bit more polished as a kickboxer, it'd probably be a much more even striking contest.
Yeah.
We get another eye poke in this round. Seems to be a returning motif of the evening.
And that's what really made me hate Joanna when I first saw this fight. It was the first time I'd seen her. Like, just fucking... I'll just say it. She was a dirty fighter in this fight.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I did take an odd note about how Joanna always looks like so haggard during fights.
What was the fight where she got that really fucked up hematoma?
It
was like
the first
fight against Zhang.
Yeah.
Zhang, yeah.
She had like a pumpkin on her forehead.
She gets busted up so easily, though. She's one of those ones like Armchair Judges. Like one punch lands and she looks like she's just been in a war.
Yeah. Because, like, it's not like she's, like, ugly per se, like, outside of the cage. Like I said, like, takes two punches, the hair's all frazzled and the face is bruised and shit. Notes for that round were kind of slim. There's another takedown by Claudia. I don't know if you guys had anything else for that round.
Yeah, I've been saving it all for round 3 in the absolute announcing call of the
So Claudia lands some ground down, but it's
Does she pounds the gash?
Dude, foreshadow.
I don't know, this is the first part where I was thinking, like, I don't know if there can be. We'll leave that for after the fight.
Is this like some judging kind of judging? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll leave that for after.
Yeah, because there is a few judging things I think that need to be talked about up this. But it also kind of depends on how we all see the fight, which will be interesting too. Round 3, a nice combos from JJ. I've written JJ in all my notes because
my exact first comment. Joanna with a nice combo.
Nice combo, and then it happens, Trev.
Oh, there's these fighters are a couple of silly gooses, and they accidentally bump each other's noggins.
The call of the century.
Which prompts Goldie to say, "It's a pretty good gash, Joe." To which Joe Rogan responds without so much as batting an eye with, "I don't think you're supposed to say that, Mike, when women are fighting."
That's like the stand-up comedian in him. Hey,
oh, it was just, it's like he had it in the chamber.
He had to say it.
He just had to. It's like that old Rogan joke from his stand-up routine where he's like, no one's ever said the phrase, "I didn't know you were vegan." Like, they have to fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a vegan.
But I don't know how this call didn't get as famous as Joe's.
I didn't even pick up on it until Trev pointed it out to me. I was like, oh, done like the gut laugh, like, oh.
I paused the video when I was watching it this morning, and I was just doubled over laughing because I
thought you made it up.
I know. I'm internally a 15-year-old boy, so.
But it is.
It's a brilliant goal, and it's digitally recorded for all eternity. And
it's a
Joe and Goldie made a vagina joke on air.
It's a nasty looking gash too.
It's got some edges to it.
It's got some curtains. And
there's a little extra pastrami in that sandwich.
It's sort of both their fault, though, eh? They're both just stepping in for a shot at the same time.
But when like after the cut, I thought Joanna up to the pace a little bit, but then she gets taken down, and I thought this time Claudia does.
It was really.
She does her best work with a takedown on this one.
Yeah,
I thought
it was really weird because
easily the easiest round to score.
Joanna really perked up when she like smelt that blood in the water, and then got taken down. And
I thought
it just was so one-sided.
But again, she gets taken down and immediately fingers are straight near the eyes while she's defending.
Fingers the gash.
Fingers the gash, like straight away.
I thought she might have been starting to get worried about the gash.
It's a good tactic to finger the gash. It really opens things up.
But
this just took a fucking turn for the horrific, didn't it?
In back to
back to sanity.
I thought Joanna was starting to look a little tired and out of answers around this point in time. Like, she couldn't stop the takedowns. Aside from that one knockdown, I thought she wasn't, like I said, she wasn't lighting her up on the feet.
And when she is able to get up from takedowns in this round, but she gets up and is immediately thrown down again.
Yeah.
There's even a standing back take sort of triangle attempt toward the end of the round. Like, she's definitely getting lit up with the grappling in this round.
Yeah. And then kind of the last 20 seconds, she goes hard. And even she goes a bit too hard, do you see, like, after the bell?
Yeah. She had that little blew a load a bit early there and a shot after the bell.
Blew into the gash.
Mate, we've all been there.
But that kind of gets into what you were saying about, like, the dirtiness of her in this fight, like the eye pokes and then the late shots and shit. It's pretty.
Claudia does throw definitely the latest shot straight after the bell.
Blatantly with the referee. She's gone, I didn't hear the bells. Like, the referee was separating you, love.
She punched it around the referee.
But turnabout's fair play. She got eye poked a shit ton.
Yeah. But yeah, then the crowd immediately boos Claudia heaps. Like, I'd probably be a bit pissed off if someone was trying to fucking gouge my eyes the entire fight and the referee never called on it.
Or put their fingers in your gash.
Especially that.
Considering you don't have one.
Hey, the surgery's going to happen. Right? Just be supportive of Aiden. Right? We're here to be supportive.
All right.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah.
That's when Joe had another hilarious call.
Oh, God. Here we go. How is he going to
Claudia punches like blatantly around the referee. It's Joanna. Joe says, fucking, I think she was trying to high five her or something.
You know, we've all been there. You high five your best mates with a closed fist.
To the face.
To the face. Oh.
Around someone else. Oh, fuck.
It's the old king hit high five.
Do you have the official cards? Maybe we should try.
I have the...
We'll try
nope, I wrote down official score and then never wrote down the official. That's just how well prepared I am.
So we had Judge Derek Cleary scored for Joanna Jedjr, 29-28. Chris Flores had Jedjerc as well, 29-28. And Marcus Rosales had it for Claudia, 29-28 also. Now, all three judges scored round 1 for Joanna. And Cleary and Flores scored round 2 for Joanna as well.
What was your card?
My card?
Are we going to go round by round or what?
We'll do our cards first and then we'll explain our rounds.
Okay.
Bit different from the judges, 30-28 Claudia.
I had it 30-27 Claudia.
I had it 30-28 Claudia as well. Straight up, I'll say, before we go into our cards, shit decision.
Yeah.
Horrendous decision.
Absolutely, judges shit the bed on this one.
And sometimes it's hard to say in a 3-round fight where there's a case for Joanna winning the first round. But I still thought this was like clear,
I feel
clear
this
as
was
day.
so dominant and so one-sided.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if there really is a case for Joanna winning the first round. Like, I scored a 10-10.
I gave it even, only because of that knockdown.
Yeah, I think that's almost being generous for Joanna.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I got to amend my score. I also had it 30-28.
Oh, yeah, again, first round even too.
My maths just don't fuck me up.
This is the first time we've all had identical scores.
Because I scored it 10-9 each round. No, that's 27. No, fuck you. I did a good maths.
No, but that's fine. Even that's like, like I was saying, I think even the draw I scored for round 1 is sort of being generous. That's like playing it on the safe side. This
is the main thing I want to talk about is that, and I brought it up earlier, if she knocked her down with a minute or two to go and had time to capitalise on that, that's a clear Joanna round. She could have won that round back, but she's knocked her out with 10 seconds to go.
In a round she was probably losing.
She was losing, in my opinion.
Even the striking exchanges in round 1.
Yeah, and it's not like boxing where knockdown, point off.
Yeah, it's not an automatic thing.
It's a even in boxing, a lot of people don't get, if you get dropped at the end of a round, you're winning. That's still a 10-9 round.
Yeah, as it should be, It's like you wanted to make some points on judging criteria.
Yeah, so round 1, we've gone over that. We had a judge a knockdown in MMA.
Yeah.
Like, it's only 10 seconds out of a 5-minute round. That's not long enough. And especially when, as soon as she stood up, she was fine.
Yeah.
So she couldn't have been that rattled from it.
Yeah, it wasn't like Czech Congo levels of like wobbling around or anything. Like she looked okay.
Yeah, and I gotta say, all three judges, including the one who scored it for Claudia, fucked that up with the first round.
Yeah.
Sounds like they fucked up the whole fight, to be honest with you. Well,
I'm just dying to know what fight they were watching.
Yeah, 100%. Especially that first round, like they must just go last impression.
Yeah.
That's the winner of the round.
It's like that Chael Sonnen when he's talking about Anderson Silva, and he's like, "Well, I beat him for 4 rounds.
I win."
In the fifth round, he wraps his legs around me and chokes me, and I thought I lost that round.
It sort of cracks me up because it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
If that was a street fight,
Best out of 5, bro.
Chow would have like splattered him, but it wasn't. Yeah.
So round 2 for judging criteria as well. So this is where Joanna was winning the striking, but not by heaps. And Claudia was pretty clearly winning the grappling.
Yeah.
I went back and timed it just out of interest, and there's about 2 minutes 45
of control time
for Claudia.
Yeah.
And then, so 2 minutes 45 of dominating the grappling compared to, obviously 2 minutes 15 of being
somewhat even on the feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I would say to something like that, like, because I did note in round 2, I didn't think she was doing a great deal with the takedowns, but she still got them. And like you said, the striking was relatively even anyway, so that therefore it has to count for something, especially in an otherwise closest round.
And they were big takedowns, and there was 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the final takedown score? It must have been like 7-0 or something. Like she took it down a lot.
I didn't count for the entire fight, but yeah, definitely 4 in the second round, and they were all big. There were 3 right at the end of the last round.
Yeah.
But I think Claudia actually has like one of the highest takedown rates in women's MMA.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that the other day.
Yeah, so like I said, like the takedown thing, this is a fight where you kind of have to score them, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of the wrestler style where like you take them down, do as little as possible until I'm stood up kind of thing, but she was working. I don't think, was there ever a stand-up in this fight from the ref?
No.
I don't think there was.
No. Claudia was constantly looking for either submission or position.
Yeah. So that says to me that even though she wasn't necessarily beating the shit out of her on the ground, she was doing enough to justify the fight being kept there, and therefore you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah. At no point in this fight did I go, oh, this is getting boring.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna say that isn't doing enough in grappling when she's gone for submissions, she has thrown enough strikes to sort of maintain it. She's advanced position. If you're still gonna say that that's doing nothing on the ground, then fucking watch kickboxing. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, that's why have it as MMA if you're gonna say that one of the half of the sport counts for less.
Yeah. So what the verdict is? This is a shit.
This is a robbery. This is an outright robbery.
There's tiers of like bad decisions. Like, people get outraged about like fights that are legitimately close.
Yeah,
I don't think
this was not close in this last, and it also too it technically affects the lineal championship.
It does. Like both of them beat Carla Esparza, so really, like we could assume that Cadella would have gone on to beat Carla Esparza next fight.
Should we talk a little bit about that actually? Like what? Obviously, Joanna obviously gets the title shot next, and like
goes on a dominant tear.
She brutalizes Carla Esparza. Like that's a
that was a stop. She's already dead kind of fight.
Yeah. Then she goes on doesn't she have like 7 title defenses or something? Like she goes on a good run, yeah.
She has seven straight wins from here, so 6 defenses, I think, including 2 KOs.
And then she loses it to
Doug Rose,
and she never really recovers from that. The form after that is heaps patchy. It's like win, loss, win, loss.
If she goes 2-5 after that, her wins are still decent. She beats Tisha Torres and Michelle Waterson.
Decent wins, yeah.
And her losses are to Thug Rose, Valentina Shevchenko, who's both as good a kickboxer
and Zhang twice.
Yeah. So all 3 of them champions. One of them a bigger champion.
Yeah.
Like that's not bad.
Yeah.
She also, in her defences, like she has a win over Jessica Andrade, who then also went on to beat Thug Rose.
Yeah. Andrade.
Claudia's record from here.
Yeah, she never really... She does get enough... She gets a rematch, which is not... She doesn't...
It's not great.
She gets tired.
I think Claudia, Joanna improves substantially, obviously.
From what I remember, her takedown defense improved, and the difference in gas tank was a much bigger factor in the 5-round fight.
She never really reaches the heights, and she kind of retires in relative, obscurity,
Yeah, after this, including this fight, she goes 6-5 for the rest of her career when she'd come in at 12-0.
Yeah.
But she did do pretty decently in terms of who she fought. She, like I said, beat Carla Esparza, who had been champion and is now champion again. But, yeah, definitely didn't reach the heights that I think she should have, in my opinion. She had the talent.
Is it a question of coaching and not having the right team, or is it a question
her gas tank was always kind of
things?
I think it was her gas tank was always a bit questionable there.
That always confuses me though when people perpetually come in with that. It is fixable. Some dudes it's extreme, have big improvements to their run times and shit.
Yeah,
off of not a whole lot of time. And I get that's different to wrestling, but you can make
cardio. You can fix cardio.
Yeah.
You can get guys like Cain Velasquez, who was 220 pound.
He can go for
small
days.
For heavyweight, but he could go for days.
Yeah.
The guy never ran out of gas.
Give her a little bit of credit, and the style she has, especially in this fight, is pretty exhausting to do.
I don't think I have any more kind of points there.
I have 2 questions.
Oh, yeah.
So we've done our round breakdowns and justifying our scorecards. First one, was it a good fight? We recommend that the listeners watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
It didn't reach any spectacular heights, but it was a solid enough fight.
Yeah.
It was going back to those Fox cards that were just when they were so stacked and so amazing. And now at a better level than I think the current pay-per-views have been at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and this was a fun scrap.
Where their Fox cards were better than their pay-per-views. Now they're those cards. This one would be
this would be a pay-per-view now.
This would be a pay-per-view now, yeah. And you'd be paying $65 Australian for it.
This is a little out of, it's not directly related to the fight, but I have such good memories of this time period of the UFC.
Oh, absolutely. This was peak.
Yeah, man.
Magpies Club on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Pitchers of beer.
Yeah.
Good
great
feed.
Cards as well.
Great cards. And also, I'm pretty sure this is pre-Reebok. I don't know what it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
It's one of those little things that shouldn't bother me as much as it does. Everyone in the same trunks and shit.
It
I don't know. It
really
just
bothers
annoys
me
man.
because you get people like Brendan Schaub who said, I'm losing, and Brendan Schaub was not a fucking champion by any stretch. He said, I'm losing $100,000 a fight. And when people said, no, you're not, that's fucking bullshit. He went on Rogan's show and showed him
the receipts
and documents, and was like, holy fuck, man, you're losing $100,000 a fight.
Yeah. I think we could
why fighter pay wasn't so much of an issue then. Sponsorships would
but also,
for him.
I get that, but I don't think that should be the fighters. The fighter shouldn't have to go and get sponsorship to make a fucking profitable.
Yeah, but how come some of them can have the Monster Energy logo on their trunks and others can't?
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
How come some of them get that? Or how come someone like Mark Hunt, who had been in the UFC for years, was still getting $5,000 a fight from the Reebok sponsorship deal?
I think we should do eventually a whole episode on the kind of all the rumors and all the weird shit you hear about the UFC and how dominating Dana is and stuff. I think that would make a good. Because there's probably a lot of bullshit in there, but it'd be fun to filter through it all and see what we find. Yeah.
Send us your conspiracy theories.
Definitely.
Dana White did 9/11.
No, bro, I have the documents. Okay.
All right. I have one more question.
Yeah. Dana White did gay frogs.
How good are both of these fighters in the context of the division's history and in women's MMA in general?
Both of them are probably top 5, I'd say, all time in this division. That's kind of weird to say about Claudia. Oh, maybe she's not top 5.
That's a difficult question to answer, man.
She's probably top 10 at least, and Joanna's definitely
Joanna was
top 5.
such a dominant champion. You've got to put her in.
She's probably number 1, actually, to be honest, in this division's history.
Yeah, she still is. She still had the most defenses.
Yeah.
She's she was dominant in her defenses as well. Yeah. But she pretty much looked unstoppable until Thug Rose splattered her.
I feel
Claudia, I think as well, it's sort of hard to tell because while she did fight some good opponents after this, she didn't fight the best ones.
No, and she never looked as good as she did in this fight.
That is true. She didn't.
She looked amazing tonight.
And
she looked top 5.
Yeah. And it's sort of sad that, like, this was definitely the peak of her MMA career and she got robbed.
And like you said, this changes the trajectory of her. Like, if she wins, I have no doubt she beats
Carla
Esparza in the next fight. Yeah.
Don't remember what her next fight was. I'm going to look it up because can't really say she would be the sort of lineal champion, but
she probably wouldn't have been because she never fought the lineal champion, like when they were lineal champion.
Oh my God, this math is hurting my head.
Alright, so her next fight was Jessica Aguilar, which she won by UD.
Yeah.
The fight after that was Joanna Jedjr for the title, which she lost. So they were going to fight again regardless, I think.
She was lineal number 1 contender.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. She definitely got a huge opportunity taken off her.
Yeah. 100%.
All right.
Wrap that one up.
Yeah. Send us your pics of fights you want us to do.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think of our decisions.
Like, subscribe.
Send to Bob's in Virginia.
Oh, share with your friends too. See you later.